In this tutorial, we will learn about variables and how to create them. We will learn what a data type is and the two different types, primitive and reference. We will learn how to create constants and how to use the assignment operator. Remember, variables are created to hold data in memory. When we write programs, we will need to save or hold values to use. Like we've seen, these variables can be integers, decimal values, booleans, and even strings of characters. We designate a spot in memory for data by specifying the name of the location and the type of data stored. Java is a typed language, meaning every variable has to be created with a type. The rules to create a variable are always the same. First, specify the type of data and then give it a name. This will allocate a spot in memory for the data, and we can use this name instead of the hexadecimal address when we want to use it. Variables get a default value when they are created. This int variable will get a default value of 0. I can put or store data in this location by using the assignment operator, the equal symbol. This statement assigns or puts or stores the value 32 into the memory location labeled num of students. Remember, integer values are 4 bytes long, and the binary representation of 32 will be stored in this location. Once the variable is declared or created, I cannot create another one with the same name. I also do not need to specify the data type when using the variable. This is a common error for new programmers. The type is only specified when the variable is initially declared. From now on, instead of drawing memory like this, I will represent a memory location like this. The box will hold the data value, and the name of the memory location will be displayed below the box. Let's do an example with the new notation. This statement reserves a spot in memory to store an integer. The memory location gets a default value of 0. This statement assigns the value 32 into the memory location referenced by num of students. The expression on the right is evaluated and then assigned to the variable on the left. 32 is assigned into the memory location num of students. In this statement, the expression on the right is evaluated first. The sum is 103, which is then assigned into the variable num of students. 103 is placed into the memory location, and 32 is overwritten with the value 103. In this class, you will learn about two different types of variables, primitive type variables and reference variables. Primitive type variables are variables where the data is actually stored in that memory location. Reference type variables are a little different, and we'll talk about those in a later video. In this statement, num of students is the variable name and the type of data is int or integer. A memory location is created with the default value of 0. In this statement, cost is the variable name, double is the data type. This memory location can hold double values or values that contain decimal points. Double values get a default value of 0. In this statement, is found is the variable name and Boolean is the type. Boolean values can either be true or false, and the default value is false. In this statement, first initial is the variable name and the type is car. Car is not tested on the AP exam, but you'll find it very useful throughout the course. Car type variables hold one character. The default value is 0. In this statement, we are going to take 3.45 and assign it to the variable cost. 3.45 is stored in the memory location referred to by cost. In this statement, the value true is assigned to the variable is found. True is stored in the memory location is found. In this statement, the character uppercase S is assigned to the variable first initial. S is stored in the memory location first initial. Reference type variables hold addresses to objects. Objects are created from classes, which define the object's state and behavior, or what the object knows and what it can do. If programming is new to you, this is the point where you're probably going, "What the heck did she just say?" But don't worry. I will explain objects in more detail later, but for now, just try to wrap your head around this animation. Whenever I talk about objects, try to imagine something living in the computer which we can ask for information or to perform some task. I will draw objects as a round 3D figure to help you remember. Like I said, objects are created from classes. Some of the classes come with the Java JDK and some you will create. This statement declares a reference variable named student name, and the type is string. Like always, you must create the variable with a type and a name. A memory location is created with the name, student name, which gets a default value of null. Null is a special character representing empty or not containing an address. This statement creates a string object with the characters Sally space Brown. To create the object, Java looks for the class of the variable type, which in this case is string. Once it finds the class, it creates a copy of all the variables and methods defined within the class and puts them into a construct called an object. This object is placed in memory. You can imagine classes with a lot of variables and methods would take up a lot of space. The address where this object is placed is put into the reference variable. So you can think of the variable student name as a pointer to the string object we created. When we want to refer to this object with the characters Sally space Brown, we can use the variable name student name. Constants are variables in memory created to hold values that will never change. We use the final modifier. Like all variables, the variable is created using a type and a name. In the first statement, the variable min height is created of type integer. 52 is assigned to the variable, and since it's marked final, we cannot override the value 52. We use all uppercase letters when creating variable names for constants, using the underscore character between words. In this tutorial, we talked about variables. We learned that to create a variable, you have to specify the variable's type and the name of the variable. We learned about primitive type variables, which include int, double, boolean, and char. Primitive type variables hold the data in the actual memory location. In this statement, weight is declared, and we can store doubles or decimal values in that memory location. Reference variables hold addresses to objects in memory. An object is created from a class, and the reference variable will hold the address to that object. To store or change values in a memory location, we use the assignment operator, or the equal sign. The value 132.5 is assigned to the variable weight. Remember, the expression on the right is evaluated first, and the result is placed into the variable on the left. And we learned how to create constants. Constants are variables that are declared with the final modifier. When a value is placed into a constant, it can no longer be changed.